I represent all the citizens in the Valley, and I think the why part is that I think it's very important that all the citizens in Mill Valley weigh in on topics that are of importance, and we've been a great town historically in terms of public interest, and I believe that the way we communicate from City Hall in both directions, both to and between us and people in the public is very important. The biggest challenge before us over the next few years relates to the way we spend our budget. The city's been really very good historically with regards to the prudence that we've exercised in connection with budget matters, but there's a number of things that are coming before us that will create some challenges, and those are neighborhood roads, the impact of repairs associated with the Stetson report, which is coming out later in the month of November, and then in addition to that, the issues of pension and health care benefits. So those three things collectively are things that are important for us to deal with, and I think the way we deal with them goes back to your first question, and that is that I think that the most important thing is for heavy public engagement, for us collectively to look at the various priorities that exist within the city and make a joint decision about how we spend our money, because the current budget doesn't have any fat in it, yet these things are very important. The city does have a budget, and the city manager has the responsibility on a day-to-day basis to deal with the budget, but the city council's responsibility is to set the goals and priorities for how the money is spent. And back to my second question, I think that having a lot of public involvement in that process and a long-range plan that looks over the next 10 years is of critical importance. This is nothing that's new to me. I've spent the last 6 years on the Planning Commission, which meets twice a month. I've got over 200 meetings under my belt in terms of the Planning Commission, the Miller Avenue street redesign, and the General Plan 2040, which I was a committee chair on. So I know the importance of how you conduct yourself in the public, and I guess I would basically rely on my record there. I think the most important thing you do as a public servant is you do your homework ahead of time. You come in with a point of view, but you listen to everybody, your fellow commissioners, city council members, what the public has to say, and you form your final conclusion later in the process. Because if you decide too early, it's just human nature. You come to defend a position as compared to listen, and I think listening is super important. Well, referring back to the Planning Commission, because that by its nature is a activity that does create pressure, in that if a neighborhood doesn't want construction but a property owner does want the construction, you have to deal with what's true and fair and what the best answer is. And so I think that what you really have to do is listen to what everybody has to say, and then make the decision that is fairest and best for the city and is based on the best facts also. You really have to understand the facts and the long-term implications of everything we do. So it's the Brown Act, and I've been dealing with the Brown Act for quite a few years now, and basically what you do is you conduct all your business in public. So you have to be careful. You don't have conversations with individual city council members, because if I talk to one, two people can talk if there's five, but no more than two people can talk. And the risk you have is that if the second person talks to a third person, that creates a serial meeting. So in general, my view is that I keep my opinions to myself until the meetings occur. Well, I think that all public servants should follow a code of ethics, and I've been involved with a code of ethics throughout my life. In my professional career, I was a CPA, a certified public accountant with PricewaterhouseCoopers, and we have a very, very rigid code of ethics in the public accounting world. So I'm very familiar with those, the concepts of ethics. And the key of ethics is not only in action, it's also in appearance. So in other words, you have to not only be of pure intention, it also has to have the appearance of pure intention. And that's very important, because public trust is something that is critical to, how we operate as a city.